Hi, everybody. Hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves, feeling awesome, or as awesome as you can possibly feel. Hopefully, a bit more awesome than I'm feeling. I am coming down with something. I've got a sore throat starting. My voice is getting raspy. I'm going to try and rattle through this before my voice completely gives out. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I want to start off by saying a big thank you to everybody who has shown love and support and everybody who did anything to help boost the first episode of Object Show Roundup. I really appreciate it. I was honestly taken aback by the reception it received. I'm struggling for words there, but hopefully this is just the beginning, right? We're just getting started, and that first episode was literally a big roundup of every single Object Show channel that I'm currently following. That number might increase. Who knows? I wouldn't mind if it did. I don't mind checking more shows out. Like I said, um, I forget if I said it in the video or if I responded to somebody in the comments. I can't remember now. But I don't mind adding more to the list because once we've caught up with the show, then it's not as hard to keep up with it anymore because then it's just when new episodes come out, really, that you have to bang the new episode on. Maybe watch a couple of previous episodes to get caught up on the story again. But we can add more to the list. That's totally a doable thing. Doable. It's a doable thing. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a great time, everybody. Let's dive in, shall we? So we will start with the BFDI II tour just because it's the big flipping thing that's going on right now, right? And it's it's just happening. It's happening. It's going. And things seem to be going well. The Texas show wrapped up last weekend, and coming up to this weekend now, the Florida show is starting. Things seem to be going well. Look at these goobers. Look at these goobers and how much fun they're having. And you know what? I've got to say, I love so much for them that they get to do this, that they get to just tour around and show new episodes to the fans and get to meet people and really just like expand just not just their own shows, but the Object Show community in general, right? Because one of the amazing things about these tours as well is if there's any other Object Show creators who can make it to some of the shows, they can meet their own fans too, and it can help boost their engagement and stuff like that. It's a really good opportunity for that. Um, and this it pops up now and again. It is a bit of a shame that they have to limit themselves to US, but the logistics of just organizing a domestic tour must be a nightmare. Could you imagine trying to organize dates outside of the US as well? There's a whole bunch of other stuff to consider when it comes to doing that kind of thing. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm feel lucky that we get to go to the New York show next weekend. It's probably the one and only time we'll get to go because it's not something we can just swing every year. But look, they're having so much fun, having a good old time. They Jack and Jellyfy did upload a video from one of the Texas shows, and I'm not going to say too much. I mean, obviously, they didn't drop anything spoilerish in there, but it looks like a really good time. Looks like there's some good community engagement going on, like audience participation, and yeah. But one of the things I did want to bring up about the tour, though, is the usual thing that happens all the time: the leaks. The leaks. Pretty much from the first show being done, the leaks were definitely a leaking. I have managed to avoid touch all of the wood in the room. I've managed to avoid anything so far, and I certainly hope it remains that way. Um, I don't really hover around too many social media places. I'm on YouTube. I'm on a couple of Reddit subreddits, but like they're very good at clamping down on spoilers as well. Um, but that's pretty much it. So like I'm not on anything else, so I've managed to just slide past all of that stuff. And it's such a frustration, really. It's like it's must be so frustrating if people who were going on one of the later shows in the tour, people who were just waiting for the YouTube uploads and to just get this stuff thrown at you when you don't want to see it, must be just the worst. It must be so frustrating. And like I say, I've managed to stay spoiler free, and I hope I can remain that way, and not just for because the NY show only shows the new Teapot episode and Inanimate Insanity season 4 episode 1. Then obviously the last three shows. So we're at the third show, which is the last time that those episodes are being shown. Then after that, it's BFDIA and BFDI Season 4, Episode 2. So then I'll be trying to avoid stuff from those ones until they go up on YouTube. It's so silly. And, I know it's so hard to stop. And they do tell people before the show starts that if anybody's caught filming, they will be escorted out and banned from all future BFDI events, that's the best you can do. Really, you can't do much more than that. But when you've got a room full of people, a theatre full of people, it's so hard to check what every single person is doing. It's just a shame there's always somebody there who has to just, do that. It's a shame that the leaks are leaking. So keep your eyes peeled. Stay safe when you're browsing. Just be careful. Just watch out, okay? Nobody likes getting spoiled. And if I ever talk about anything that's a spoiler from an episode, I will give you such a heads up on that. Believe you me. And I've got chapters in these videos very specifically so that I can split this stuff out so you can skip straight past a chapter if there's spoilers in it. That's my promise and commitment to you in this show. I will not knowingly ruin anything ahead of time for anybody who hasn't had the chance to see anything yet. And this also goes for the show next weekend. When we're there, I'm not going to say anything about what happens in any of the episodes when I get the next episode, Object Show Roundup episode out. I won't say nothing. I'll just talk about the show in general, right? The whole experience. I'm not going to talk about the episodes. We won't do that until they land on YouTube. That's the only fair way to do this. It's the only way it should be done. So let's move on from that, shall we? Did also want to quickly mention that AnimationEpic did surpass 800,000 subscribers. Their numbers have been going up pretty steadily the last week or so. The tour probably helps with that, right? Because maybe lots of people who've been BFDI fans for a long time, who maybe never got around to checking out AnimationEpic stuff, maybe they get around to checking it out now, and it's like they go, oh well, I already know Jack and Jellyfish stuff, but I haven't really watched AnimationEpic. I'm gonna go and sub to the channel and try and watch some stuff before I go to the show. That could be one factor. But super happy for them. Honestly, they make really good. They make a really good show. They do deserve all of the love and all of the plaudits. Super happy they've surpassed 800,000. 1 million's going to happen eventually, right? It's going to happen eventually. But this channel isn't just about this channel. This show isn't just about the biggest channels. It's about anybody who's making awesome stuff that I happen to have come across. So we celebrate milestones of all sorts around here. Don't you worry. AnimationEpic won't be the only ones getting their flowers from me today. But kind of sticking with the tour stuff. Like I was saying, the Florida show starts this coming weekend. And then there's other shows after that. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other shows coming. But as I mentioned, the good thing about these shows is that other object show creators can hover to those shows and get to meet their own fans there as well, which is awesome. And I've seen 2 people confirm which shows they're going to be at, which is super cool. It was really cool to see this. First up, we've got Fusion. Fusion Animations is going to be in New York and LA. Going to be there for the full span. No, wait, no, because I think New York starts on the 10th. But anyway, Fusion is going to be in New York July 11th and 12th, and LA from July 31st to August the 3rd. So if you happen to be hitting up any of those ones, then Fusion will be around, so keep your eyes peeled. You might just spot him out there in the wild somewhere. Hopefully, we'll get to see him at the New York show, because we're there on the 11th. Is it the 11th or the 12th? Why am I forgetting which day we're there? We're on the Saturday. That's the 12th. Yes. Oh boy, I'm so good at dates, everybody. I'm brilliant at those. But anyway, that's where Fusion's going to be going. But Fusion is not the only one who has confirmed that they are going to be going to one of the shows. Maukitt, who makes Sacrificially Solitary. Oh, Fusion does Daily Object Show and Object Invasion. I'm so sorry. Just as a reminder, that's what Fusion's known for. And Maukitt, who makes Sacrificially Solitary, also confirmed that... Why am I so bad at knowing which way I'm pointing on this flippin' thing? Confirmed that they're going to be going to the Florida show on July the 6th. That is Sunday. That is, well, tomorrow by the time this video goes up. So they're going to be at the Florida show, just at the 5 p.m. show. So if you're a fan of Sacrificially Solitary, keep your eye out for Maukitt there. And just in case you don't know who you're looking for, they're going to have a Cleo plushie with them. It's so cute, I'm going to die. I love this so much. It's bloody adorable. I love this so much. Oh, it's so good. So anyway, Maukitt's going to be at Florida, the Florida show on the Sunday. And that's what I mean. It's another great thing about this tour. You could, even if you're not a fan of the two shows, just for whatever reason, you know, not everybody's going to like every show, but it is awesome that these smaller creators get to maybe go out there and spread the word about their shows. I think it's really good for that. It's just super awesome. I'm not sure if there's any other kind of object show kind of gatherings or get-togethers. I haven't seen any. Well, I mean, where I live, it'd be super surprising if there was any. Maybe I should start setting them up around here. Maybe I should try and find some more local object show fans and see if we can't get a little bit of a group going around here or something. Oh, that's something for me to think about. Maybe Mikey can do that. Yeah. Leave that one with me. All right, next, let's move on to some episode updates from some of the creators. So we've got an update from Centrifuger about TRIPWIRE. We got this post a couple of days ago saying that TRIPWIRE episode 2, Snap at the Hand That Eats You, is coming soon. So, you know, and TRIPWIRE 1 ended on such a note, shall we say, that it's going to be really interesting to see what happens from here on out. And like I said, there was so much cool ARG kind of stuff hidden in the background of it that I didn't pick up on, but smarter people than I did. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out for other smart people figuring that stuff out if there's any in episode 2 as well, because there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff kicking around here, which we might dive into a little bit more going forwards. But for now, suffice to say, TRIPWIRE episode 2, coming soon. Could kind of mean any time at all, but obviously I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. As soon as episode 2 lands, I'll be devouring that, and we will chat about it when the time comes. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. If you haven't watched TRIPWIRE episode 1 yet, then you get around to it. It's flipping amazing. All right, we also have an update from MationsBomb about Orbit 2. So last time when we talked about MationsBomb, did say they were working hard with, you know, school stuff and doing other things, but this makes it seem like Orbit 2's animation has begun. It seems that way. I mean, if we read between the lines just a little bit here, you know, where it says Orbit 2, and then it says animation. Potentially feels like there's some animating going on. I mean, I can't be sure. I'm just theorizing here. It's just maybe, possibly. But, you know, signs seem good. So that means Orbit 2 is underway, which is also awesome to hear. I need to rewatch Orbit 1 though, because, yeah, I think I need to watch it more than once. That's the issue I've got with some of the other shows, and I've got to be upfront here and say that there's some I've only watched once all the way through so far. Feel like I need to dip back in and rewatch some, especially before new episodes of things come out, because then I could start really molding what's going on together a bit better. Some of the wikis for some of the object shows aren't fully fleshed out yet, so it's hard to go there and pluck the information you need from them. And to be honest, it's much better to sit and watch it if you've got the time. If you've got the time. If you need to do a wiki catch up, then that'll do for you. But like I said, some of these smaller shows that haven't really got these massive crowds behind them yet might not have all of the information you need to know what's going on. But yeah, suffice to say, Orbit 2, animation underway. Obviously, that doesn't mean the episode's coming super duper duper soon, but it's progressing, which is positive. All right, I wanted to move over to something else that I've really been enjoying from some of the creators and object show channels lately. Art. Whether it be concept art or just characters drawn, just he's a cute picture of the character for you. I'm a big fan of it. I really like it because it helps you engage more with the people who make the shows, you know, and it's just nice to see the process, you know, because there's lots of people out there who watch object shows or any animation really. I mean, it doesn't have to be just object shows, and like perhaps they're interested in doing this themselves. But so it's really cool to see creators show storyboard stuff. Some just do whole video uploads showing the storyboard and final comparisons, the concept art. It shows all of the work that does go on behind the scenes, and show that it's not just as simple as just plopping something there and it's done. There's a lot of work, and I always appreciate people showing how much work it actually is. We're not going to start with concept art and storyboard stuff. It's actually the first thing I wanted to share. We want to go back to Maukitt again, because they just posted one of my favorite pictures of Cleo I think I've ever seen. Look, Look at this, look at this, look at this dapper gent. Isn't this fantastic? I also love that Cleo in the peak of his masculinity. Look, Cleo should rock this all the time. If Cleo doesn't rock this at least once in Sacrificially Solitary, I'm gonna not do anything because that's not my decision to make. But honestly, look at this. I adore this picture. I adore Cleo. I cannot wait to see more Sacrificially Solitary. It's good. I'm so intrigued to see where that show's going to go. But just seeing things like this just pop up on your feed when I'm just scrolling through my YouTube, like the uploads and stuff, and then this just pops up and I'm like, well, that's just made my entire bloody day. That has. I love it. I love it so much. It's amazing. This bloody little flippin' gremlin, the most adorable little gremlin. But then let's move on to concept art. So we'll go hop over to Snailvine. Well, actually, the first thing I want to say about Snailvine is another milestone reached. Snailvine has made it to 5K and is just exponentially like booming up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 10K the next time we get a video up and deserved too, because Snailvine is fantastic. Lunchbox Kids is adorable. I really can't wait to see more of that as well. I can wait. I've got to stop saying can't wait because then I start kind of accidentally leaning into the whole, I need new episodes of this show now. And I don't want to be, when I say I can't wait, I just mean I'm just really excited to see more of it. It doesn't mean I need it like right this second and get it done, right? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. But super excited for Snailvine. 5K, big congrats on that. Again, totally deserved. Hopefully this upwards trend continues for that channel because, oh my word, so good. And Snailvine did also post what I was talking about, some fun concept art pictures and stuff. So, and this was a great post because it was a nice bunch of pictures. We got Bush, Bash, Boof, Bop, Bam. Look at this. Look at all this. This is amazing. Anyway, so yeah, this is all the stuff we got. Look at all these lovely pictures. And this is what I like to see. This stuff right here. Where's my hand? This kind of thing. I should be pointing. This and this and this. It's great to see how the thought process goes and what the characters maybe used to look like and all that kind. It's just amazing. I just really enjoy seeing this kind of thing, and I love when creators do this. It's like, here, have some doodles, have some little things that I did, getting ready to do the show. It's amazing. I'm a big fan of it. I want to see more of it. So yeah, big thank you, Snailvine, for sharing that. It was very, very, very nice to see. It was also kind of tied into like it was the end of Pride, and it was just like, oh, by the way, happy Pride from all these characters, and they all gay. So this is definitely a Pride post, which I thought was so funny and fantastic. Oh, okay. So now let's get onto some more stuff. We're going on to like storyboard news now for something, and it's Wuggolo. Wuggolo is working on the Object Lockdown 13 storyboards. And this post, they should all be done tomorrow. This was longer ago than yesterday, so the storyboard should theoretically be done by now. So again, this is just a tiny little peek at the storyboarding process. But again, I feel like it's a really cool thing to bring in and share with people. Just show this is kind of how it goes, right? It doesn't just start off immediately with just the characters in full color and animating them straight away. You know, you've got to plan out how your story's going to work, where characters are going to be at a certain point of the scene, what they're going to say, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So again, Wuggolo, awesome to see this kind of stuff. I love to see this. I am a little bit concerned about the follow-up post that came out not long after this storyboard news, though. All 13 is for the crappy Netflix reality show fans. I don't know whether to be worried or enthralled by that, to be honest, but I guess we'll see, won't we? Object Lockdown 13, storyboarding, theoretically should be done by now. So, we'll see it sometime in the nearish future. So, another cool update there. Thanks, Wuggolo. All right, let's have another quick chat about webs. We talked about WebzForevz, Griffin, as well. Obviously, in the last word, we talked about everybody last time because it was a roundup for every single one. But Webs also posted a really good end of Pride post over on the YouTube channel. As Pride Month wraps up, Just want to remind everyone that I'm a proud transgender man, and I have been for over 10 years. If you support my channel, then you support the LGBT community. There will be no hate, no toleration, no I respect it, but I don't support it on my channel. Just support, just love. We're here, we're real, and we deserve love and support always. I love this Griffin energy. I said this last time. I am so, fired up by how and I love that Griffin keeps just saying, hey, you know what? If for some reason you didn't know and you're not cool with that, then there's the door. You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So just keep on being you, Griffin. Just keep on being you. You're fudging cool, you are. Yeah, hopefully we see some more 3s soon. No rush though. You just keep being awesome. That's the main thing. That's the most important thing. All right, we'll hop over to some of the actual episodes of things that have come out recently. So there's been two things have dropped. We did get I'm going to keep pronouncing this wrong until somebody tells me how to pronounce it. Paregui 4 came out. This was a really, really big departure from the first 3 episodes. Now, I'm sure this is all going to tie in together somehow, but I don't know how at the moment. Suffice to say that the characters that we have seen so far in the first 3 episodes don't really appear in this episode. It's a completely different little scenario that's going on. I should say kind of spoilers. There's nothing really, there's no big storyline giveaways here though, because in all honesty, I don't know what the storyline is yet with this show. But suffice to say that it's like a really, really well put together animation. But I was actually struggling to comprehend whether this was actually animated or if it was actually figures that were being used. Like real little wooden figures that were being used and like stop motion animated. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it looks really cool and it looks really awesome. And like I think I mentioned this last time. I can't totally remember if I did or not. But whether I could consider this one an actual object show does remain to be seen. But I'm still going to give Cheesy, not the benefit of the doubt here, but I'm still going to give Cheesy the time here just because of one. And one being like one of the flippin' best object shows I have encountered. So I think we will stick with Paregui updates here. Just because it's such an intriguing show, and we might branch out a wee bit here and there, for this kind of stuff. I'll try not to do it too much. If it's definitely just totally object show, not even adjacent, then we won't really go there. But because it is cheesy, I did want to mention this. It looks so cool. It looks really awesome. I'd really recommend checking out the first 4 episodes and seeing if you could put anything together. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you've got some theories you could think of. I'm not totally sure. It feels like I don't really know. There's definitely something potentially I've got in mind, but I just realized I didn't give any spoiler warnings. And I don't want to give any of the episode context away quite yet for these ones. I recommend you dive in and have a watch for yourselves. Just check out this really intriguing little animation style that Cheesy's got going on with these ones, and just see what you think. See what you think. It's very endearing. It's like this latest episode too. I couldn't tear my eyes away from the screen. Like I couldn't. I was like glued, and I was like, "What is happening?" And this episode, it's all about the sound cues, and the music, the beat to it all. It's very hypnotizing. It's very clever. Cheesy's got something interesting going on with this one, and wow. Who knows where episode 5 is going to go? Who knows? We might do a deeper dive into this next time, perhaps. Or another thing I've been thinking about doing potentially on the side here, once I maybe get time to do so, is doing one-off videos now and again where we do like a specific deep dive about a certain series. Potentially. It's something I might do. We'll see. I've only got so much time, but it's something I've been thinking about. It would be nice to kind of focus in on one thing. But for now, that's just a maybe, not a definite. Go check out Paregui anyway. Really cool. All right, so let's move on to our last update of the episode today. This is where spoiler warnings do kick in, because I will be talking about Bean Show. So if you haven't watched any of it, spoiler warnings for the next little bit of discussion, this first part of the discussion, because we'll talk a little bit about episodes 1 to 6. And if you haven't watched it yet, I don't want to spoil any of that. I would say go and watch it if you haven't, though, because it's very good. I'd also recommend watching the Sacri's 5 Secondly Object Show stuff before, too, because some of it does kind of lead in. It does lead into Bean Show and what's kind of going on with that show right now. So, like, give a little bit of pre-context to this. Before Bean Show started, there was 5 Secondly Object shows hosted by Grandma, Battle for Grandma. So Sacri's always kind of leaned into the kind of anarchic, kind of counterculture object show contests. As in, just completely random and off the wall stuff going on. Like the 5 Secondly Object shows, as the name suggests, are really short episodes. They're not long at all. They're bish bash bosh done. But they introduce a whole bunch of fun characters. And so they're hosted by Grandma. And when someone gets eliminated from the contest, they don't just get eliminated, they get disintegrated. They're gone. They're just in the void. Just totally whoomph. Grandma does bring people back now and again just to get rid of them again. It brings them back for maybe to take part in a contest, and then zoom, they're gone. So when Bean Show starts, Bean gets to be the host, or gets chosen as the host, and then gains host powers. It is one of these tropes in object shows where hosts get the powers to just do random things. And that happens with Bean. But Bean is a host who doesn't really know how to use those powers. And their intention when Bean Show first starts is when a contestant gets eliminated, they just go and chill in a nice like house, like not getting harmed in any way, right? So, or trying to send them to somewhere they could just chill out, because that happens in a lot of object shows too. Well, I say chill out. Some of the places are not quite as fun as others, obviously. But the first time a contestant gets eliminated, Bean just accidentally kills them, and they get covered in mushrooms. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's very painful. It sounds very painful, and yeah. So that's what happens, and Bean's horrified. Like, well, I'm never doing that again. But here's the thing: as the show goes on, Bean just loses more and more kind of grip on themselves, and it kind of comes to a head when Bean tries to bring back one of the contestants from Battle for Grandma, Enderpearl, and it doesn't go so well. Enderpearl's all zombie-ish and trying to attack the other contestants in the show, so they have to put her in a cage. And Bean's just all... That's when Bean really starts spiraling a lot from that point. And yeah, it only gets worse because I'm right at the end of that episode. It seems like Enderpearl is kind of like, there's a brief moment of clarity and a return to their character. They know who they are again, and they're gone. So you can only imagine how poor Bean feels about this. But yeah, Bean just totally goes from I'm never doing this again to doing it again and really just expressionless, no remorse, totally lost their sense of self. And in episode 7, that kind of feeling is still there. So now what I'll say is, if you've watched Bean Show 1 to 6 but haven't watched episode 7 yet, this is your second spoiler warning, spoiler alert, I mean, that we will be discussing a bit of stuff that happens in Bean Show 7 now. So if you haven't watched it yet, this is your chance to dip out, maybe skip to nearer the end while this discussion is happening. So in Bean Show 7, we start off chaos, absolute chaos. All the remaining contestants are just doing their thing, and they're all so flipping off the wall. I love them. I love all of the characters in this show. They're all just so flipping goofy. I really do love every single one of them. Even the ones that are set up to be like, you're not meant to like, I like them as well. Now, I'm not saying there's loads of object shows with the characters I don't like in them. There's some that maybe I don't appreciate as much as others, but I haven't gone as far as like really despising a character per se. But yeah, these ones, just a goofy bunch of goofs, honestly. But it's really interesting because there's always this kind of push and pull between the contestants and Bean. So they've seen what's happened to contestants who've been eliminated, and yet they still keep pushing to have challenges. So they still keep going up to Bean saying, hey, what's today's challenge? And it's just, Bean just doesn't seem to even want to, I don't know. But the contestants it's a really interesting dynamic going on between the contestants and the host right now in this show. But Bean's just lost the plot at this point.
Your challenge is to eat this crap cheeseburger I somehow conjured up out of thin air! Because that's just what I can do now! Wonderful! Love being a host! Just love it! Ugh! Go on, everybody! Eat it off the ground! I know you sickos would!
I feel like you chose this challenge purely out of spite.
Oh, little buddy! I feel like maybe you're right! Now get out of my face!
Sorry.
So yeah, you see that? Just totally, you know what? I don't care. Here. Eat a cheeseburger off the floor, you monsters. Like, you okay? Jeez. Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay, awesome. It's getting bleak. But it's kind of interesting because, like, Sacri has kind of leaned into this thing for quite a while with Bean Shaw, and I don't know. I don't want to read too much into anything particularly, but I just don't know if it's the kind of Sacri's overall feelings as well about like how they've been doing their object show stuff. Perhaps that's bleeding over to the writing, but that's just a thought. That could be totally way off base. But to be honest, it does seem like Sacri's really enjoying writing these characters and still making this show. So I'm probably way off base. It just feels like a kind of a reflection a little bit. It's like there's something going on here where it's like, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. And the elimination in this episode was also brutal. It was pretty brutal. It wasn't mushrooms this time. It was this.
Oh, I see. Everybody, I just wanted to say it's been an honor to compete with you all. We've had some beautiful times together, and I'll cherish those memories forever inside of my big eliminated heart. Even if the skies turn gray and the moon goes sour, at least we can say that the things we've done as friends were full of joy and whimsy, and I was full of purpley goodness that could only radiate from the glowiest of happy boys.
Okay, yeah, we're done with that.
Oh my god, what the hell? It's everywhere!
I didn't think it could beat us back!
I was just eliminating him! This is terrible!
Object shows are too dark!
I just also want to say, though, how funny it was to wrap up that little scene with, object shows are too dark! I'm sure it's something that's been going around, because a lot of shows have, like, when they pulled in the more serious plot aspects and stuff, where they just stopped being the silly, bouncy, just regular, just it's a contest and someone gets eliminated every week and that's it. So, like, all of this, like, deep thinking and existentialism and flipping, you know, dealing with mortality and broken friendships and alliances and stuff like that. I guess it's some kind of discourse that's been kicking around, and that feels like that's a direct reference to all of that stuff. But honestly, it was a really solid episode. And after it aired like it was on regular television, after it was uploaded, not long after that, Sacri dropped the new intro for Bean Show, which I guess we'll be seeing from episode 8 onwards. Take a peek at this. So yeah, very bleak. Very, very bleak. Lots of characters suddenly like, in the intro. Some of them looking more concerned than others, shall we say. But then that end bit as well with being, you know, an Ender Pearl. And it pulls right back to that. It was what I was talking about before when Bean tried to bring Ender Pearl back to life and it didn't go so well. I wonder if that's going to become another plot point again. Bean needs something to keep him going here. Like, I think he's going to have to resign himself to the fact that he remains the host of this contest until it's done. But if he can focus on something positive, so maybe he tries to bring Ender Pearl back again and maybe with more success, or maybe it's just going to keep not working. Who knows where this is going to go? But that new intro definitely makes it look like it's not. It's bleak. It's bleak. It's bleak, but weirdly, I'm still excited to see what happens in episode 8. Oh, weirdly. But yeah, that catches us up with that. So that's pretty much everything for this one. Told you it would get shorter. Still managed to go for more than half an hour though somehow. I don't quite know how I did that, but hey ho. That's everything for now. Like I have mentioned before, me and wife and kiddo will be in New York for the BFDI II show on Saturday, July the 12th. So there won't be an Object Show Roundup episode on the Saturday, but I'm still going to try and get one up on the Sunday if I can. It's all dependent on time and whether I could get everything put together or not. So the plan I was trying to put in place here to keep you totally in the loop and let you always peer behind the curtain. I should have got rid of this picture a while ago. Sorry, I'm such a professional. So the plan I was thinking of was to try and record something on Friday morning next week, like put some info together for then, and then finish it off on Sunday when we get back, because we fly out Friday afternoon, we come back Sunday afternoon, so I might have a little bit of time to try and put something together, and I could maybe whap some of the information from, like, some of the stuff from the New York show in there. I ain't going to spoil nothing. I've made that promise. I'm not going to tell you anything about any of the episodes, but maybe I can grab some pictures from New York and show and stick them in the video, and maybe some little videos if I get the chance to do some videos. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I would still like to get an episode up next week. I'd hate to do 2 episodes and then already skip a week. So I'm hoping I could get something put together, but I can't promise it, but I really want to. So we'll see what happens. Because, like, in August, we're away for 3 weeks, so there won't be an episode for 3 weeks, but I will try and post as much as I can on here. Might drop some shorts. That sounded wrong. Might upload some shorts while we're away, possibly, or just do some silly posts on the post section. I did also open up the community tab here on the YouTube channel, and if anybody wants to talk about OSC stuff, post art that you've done, talk about other object shows that you like that maybe I haven't mentioned or brought up before, feel free to do all of that in the community tab, or you could just comment on this video with stuff like that too. Whatever you fancy, whatever you want to do. Thank you all for being here, and again, a big thank you for helping episode 1 do, like, honestly, way better than I expected it to. It's very humbling. It was such an honor. Some of the people who commented, I honestly wasn't expecting it. So thank you very much, everybody. And Object Show Roundup will continue, possibly next week, maybe the week after. We'll see. I'll try my best, though. So yeah, take care of yourselves, everybody. Love and appreciate you all. Keep on enjoying all of these awesome shows, and I will see you next time. Bye now.